Ever heard of SQL? Maybe you think it's some super technical thing just for coders, but what if I told you you're actually using it right now? Yep, it's the secret language running pretty much every app on your phone. So let's pull back the curtain and figure out what SQL is and, how it all works. So here's what we're going to do. We've got 5 simple stops on our tour today. First, we'll answer the big question, what even is SQL? Then we'll see how you build a home for your data. After that, the fun part, the 4 core commands that do all the work. Then we'll connect the dots between your data. And finally, I'll show you what's next on your learning journey. Sound good? Let's go.
Okay, section 1. What is SQL? Simple question, right? But this is the foundation. Seriously, everything we talk about from here on out builds right on top of this one concept, so it's super important.
So let me ask you something. How does Spotify know you, like really know you, and your music taste? Or how does Amazon remember what was in your shopping cart from 3 days ago? It feels like magic, right? Well, it's not. The answer is data. Or more importantly, it's about how that data is stored and managed. And that's where something called a database comes in. Now, don't let the word scare you. The easiest way to picture a database is just to think of it as a huge digital library. I mean, a massive one. It's just a place, a container, designed to hold tons and tons of information in a super organized way. Let's break that down. In our library, right, you've got bookshelves, and they hold books. Easy enough. In a database, you have tables, and they hold rows of data. A book has a title, an author, a page count. Well, a row of data has columns, like name, email, and age. See the connection? It's the exact same idea, just neat, organized containers for information. Okay, so if the database is our giant library, how do you actually talk to it? Well, that's SQL. SQL, which stands for Structured Query Language, is the special language you use to chat with the librarian. And this isn't just any librarian. This one is like a supercomputer. You can say, hey, find me this specific person, or add this new user, or change this person's email, and bam, it's done, instantly. All right, let's move on to actually building something. This section is all about creating your very first table. This is like drawing up the blueprint for our digital bookshelf. We're deciding how it's going to look and what it's going to hold. And it's really just a 3-step recipe. First, you create the database. That's like, building the library itself. Step 2, you design your table inside the database. That's our bookshelf. And then step 3, you define your columns. This is where you decide exactly what kind of info goes where. You're basically putting labels on the shelf. Title goes here, author goes here, year published goes here. And this is what that blueprint actually looks like. Let's say we're making a users table. We'd say, okay, the user ID column, that has to be a number. First name and email, those are going to be text. And sign-up date, well, that's got to be a date. We've built the structure, we've set the rules. But you can see, it's totally empty. We've built our bookshelf, but there are no books on it. Not yet. Okay, now we get to the really important stuff. I'm talking about the 4 core commands. This is your essential toolkit. Honestly, if you can get your head around these 4 things, you've basically mastered the fundamentals of SQL. It's that big a deal. These 4 actions are so common, they even have a nickname, CRUD. It stands for create, read, update, and delete. And trust me, this isn't just some techie jargon. This is literally the life cycle of all data. Think about it. Every time you make a social media post, buy something online, or change your profile picture, you are using one of these 4 commands behind the scenes. So let's see them in action, one by one. First up, create. To create new data, we use a command called insert. Pretty straightforward, right? This is us finally putting a book on our empty bookshelf. And boom, just like that, our table is no longer empty. It has life. We've just inserted a row of data for our first user, John Doe. And you can see how every piece of his information fits perfectly into the columns we designed earlier. Okay, next up in CRED is read, and for that we use the select command. Now this one is the superstar. You're going to use select all the time. This is you going up to our super librarian and saying, hey, can you show me the info you have on John Doe? And check it out, here's what you get back. We didn't have to sift through the entire library, right? We asked for one specific thing, and the database gave us exactly what we wanted. It's incredibly fast and precise. But, life happens. Information changes, people get new email addresses. So what do you do then? Well, that's where the U in CRUD comes in. Update. This command lets us change data that's already in the table.
And look how targeted this is. We didn't just mess with the whole row. We told the database, hey, for the user with ID number 1, I need you to change only their email address to this new one. Everything else stays exactly the same. So efficient. And that brings us to the last one, delete. This one's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's for when you need to permanently remove a record from your database. This is you telling the librarian, you know that book? Take it off the shelf. We don't need it anymore. And there you have it. After running that delete command, John Doe is gone from our table. So that's the whole cycle. Create, read, update, and delete. With these 4 commands, you have complete control over your data.
Okay, so working with one table is cool and all, but the real power, the magic of SQL, happens when you start connecting multiple tables together. This is all about the power of relationships. So just imagine for a second we have this table here. Super simple. It's just a list of our customers. Each person has a unique customer ID and their name. It's fine, it's useful, but on its own, it doesn't really tell us a whole lot. Okay, now let's bring in a second table. This one is for orders. It lists every order ID, the product someone bought, and here's the crucial part. It also includes the customer ID of the person who bought it. Are you starting to see the connection here? That little link we just saw, that's made possible by something called keys. In our customers table, that customer ID is a primary key. Think of it like a social security number. It's totally unique to that one person. Now, when we use that same ID over in our orders table, it's called a foreign key. And that foreign key is the bridge. It's the thing that connects these 2 completely separate tables. And this is where the magic happens. By using a command called join, we can tell SQL to use that shared key to link the tables together. Now, we can ask much smarter questions, like, hey, show me the customer names from one table and the products they bought from the other table, all matched up. We're pulling information from 2 different places to get one single powerful answer. I mean, this right here is the heart of pretty much all data analysis. Whew, okay, we've covered a ton of ground. But honestly, we've just scratched the surface. So let's take a quick peek at what your learning path looks like and what comes next once you've got these basics down. Once you feel good about that whole create, read, update, delete cycle, you can really start to level up your game. You can start using functions to do quick math, like calculating averages or sums. You can master more advanced joins to link up like 5 or 6 tables at once. You can use group by to take millions of rows of data and summarize them into a single understandable result. It's all about learning how to ask bigger and better questions. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This quote from Carly Fiorina just nails it. The whole point is to turn raw data into useful information, and then turn that information into real insight. You're not just moving numbers around. You're on a quest to find meaning, to find answers that can help people make smarter decisions. So I'll leave you with this. Data is absolutely everywhere. And every single data set, no matter how boring it looks, has a story locked inside it. When you learn SQL, you're not just learning a programming language. You're learning how to be a storyteller, a detective. You're learning how to ask the right questions to unlock those stories. So the only question left is, what secrets are hiding in your data?